Rees-Jew and I are also a pair of resentful lovers, hurling insults at each other and exchanging blows, eventually declaring, "Whoever doesn't get divorced is a dog." On the road to divorce, we used the most vicious words to curse each other, but when the fuel truck came crashing towards us, he suddenly swerved the steering wheel and took the impact on his side. It made me live for an additional 0.01 seconds, the moment I opened my eyes again. I was back in that summer after my second year of high school. Rees-Jew was also holding a bouquet of flowers, asking me if I wanted to give it a try. In the next second, he raised his eyes with a sullen expression, his face full of frustration. The moment our eyes met, I knew he had come back too. I found a stack of Xunyan's portraits in Rees-Jew's safe. In my shattered state of mind, I knew he was doomed. Without saying a word, I rushed up and gave him 2 slaps, leaving his face scratched. At first, he just avoided me. Later I got angry and pushed him away. "What are you doing? Are you sick?" I grabbed the portrait and smashed it in his face. "I'm sick. You're the one who's sick, drawing your sister-in-law in secret. Aren't you disgusting?" Looking at the scattered sketches, Rees-Jew also reddened his eyes. "Kaya Shu, I've never seen someone as despicable and malicious as you. You are just jealous of Xunyan, with ill intentions, but you can't compare to her. Not even a fraction of her. Why wasn't it you that died back then?" I've heard this sentence too many times, but every time I hear it, it still drives me crazy. I picked up a stool and charged at it. "Damn you." That day we went to the police station. The police officer kindly asked me if I had been domestically abused. I let out a cold laugh. "Who do you look down on? This is called mutual fighting. Do you understand mutual fighting?" Although my hair is disheveled and I have bruises on my face. But Rees-Jew is already blooded. In this round, I won completely. We pointed at each other's noses after leaving the police station. This marriage must end. Whoever doesn't divorce is a dog. Who would have thought we would die on the road to divorce? In the second before the oil tanker crashed into me, I was still cursing him as a sick pervert hiding in the shadows, peeping and fantasizing. Rees-Jew also had a face as dark as a pot bottom, gritting his teeth. "What I like is Xunyan. And it has always been Xunyan. If you didn't look exactly like her, do you think I would be with you? Kaya Shu, why don't you look at yourself and see what you have that can compare to Xunyan? The thing I hate the most in my life is being compared to Xunyan. Even if she is dead, I still have to live in her shadow. Why should I?" My hand has already reached for Rees-Jew's hair. "Come on, let's perish together." In the next second, a piercing sound rang out, and the oil tanker lost control and rushed over. My mind went completely blank. Rees-Jew's face also turned pale as he suddenly turned the steering wheel and charged forward with his side. I absent-mindedly looked at him. Looking at this man who has been entangling with me for 10 years, we always get along poorly. Arguments and brawls haven't stopped in these 10 years. Why not separate? Someone has asked him, and someone has asked me. I don't say a word. He smoked silently. No one could say why. Just like that year, he looked dispirited holding a bouquet of wilted flowers, asking me if I wanted to give it a try. How strange. A few days ago, he just rejected my confession, saying he didn't want to be in a relationship and only wanted to focus on studying. How is it that after just a few days, he changed his mind? It wasn't until much later that I realized he actually went to confess to Xunyan, but was turned down by her. He, feeling disappointed and sad, saw a face that looked just like Xunyan's. Instinctively, he walked towards me, treat me as a stand-in, looking through me to reminisce about Xunyan. 10 years, he really deserves to die. He should just die. Who needs him to risk his life for me? Let me live for just 0.01 more seconds. Bad luck. Forget it. When people die, all debts are cleared. From now on, all past grudges and enmities will turn into a wisp of blue smoke. I just hope I open my eyes in the next life. Damn, as soon as I open my eyes, I see 17-year-old Rees-Jew too. Why are you sure he's 17? Because he is holding a bunch of wilted blue small swallows with his dead fish face. I don't like small swallows. I like roses, red roses, passionate, romantic, and flamboyant. Rees-Jew also looked disdainful and said I am unbearably vulgar. He asked me if I knew what the language of flowers for the little flying swallow was. Don't you think their shapes look like little swallows flying lightly? It symbolizes freedom. Unrestrained and carefree. Don't you think that's beautiful? I don't think so. I only know that roses represent love. Lovers always have to give roses. But I never received a bouquet until I was killed by an oil tanker. Reborn at this moment. Well, it's even more unlucky. And the most unlucky thing is that Reese also looked up. At the moment our eyes met across the room, we both saw the familiar expression in each other's eyes. Haha, I almost didn't need to think. I knew he had also come back. This summer was especially hot. Soon I'll be in my 3rd year of high school. Some people are rushing to tutoring classes, while others are having one-on-one sessions at home. Only I, every day, am wandering aimlessly, leaving home before dawn and only reluctantly heading back when it's time for dinner. Today is no different. I kicked small stones all the way, and the resentment I carried could be felt from 5 meters away. I was nervous the moment I saw Reese too. I like him. The first person I fell in love with, sour and beautiful. But he rejected my confession. There is a distant smile on his face, saying that he is currently only focused on studying and doesn't want to fall in love. I was shy, angry, and sad, holding back tears as I ran away, vowing never to like him again. But when he slowly walked towards me, I couldn't help but stand there with my heart pounding wildly. He said, "Want to give it a try?" I hardly thought, just kept nodding. This love-driven behavior that is utterly without dignity, bottom line, or stance is my greatest shame for the rest of my life. If I could do it all over again, I would unhesitatingly sneer at him and silently flip him off. Reese also licked his back teeth, threw the flower into the trash can, and turned to walk away. "We will meet again at my door in 10 minutes. Shunfang's face was full of vigilance and suspicion. She was guarding the door, staring at Reese as well. "Who are you looking for?" Reese was rarely at a loss, even showing hesitation and caution. "Auntie, I'm looking for Shunyan. Could you let me see her? I have something to tell her." "Why are you looking for Shunyan? Who are you?" Shunfang's aggression had turned into reality. Her eyes widened, and a fierce light flashed in her eyes. Reese also seemed to be frightened, hesitating as he wanted to speak again. I made a frustrated sound of TSK. "Didn't I just say I don't like you? Why are you still coming to my house? Do you think finding Shunyan will help you? Don't you know that she is the person I hate the most? Follow me." Facing Shunfang's suspicious gaze, Reese was also pulled downstairs by me. Reese face was also dark. And he flung me off with a single motion. "I know you've also come back. I don't want to dwell on the past grievances anymore. If you feel that I owe you an apology, then I apologize to you. But Kaya Shu, you should understand that our rebirth to this time is an opportunity given to us by fate. I will make sure to protect Shunyan. No one can take her away from me, not even she herself. I don't expect you to help me, but don't cause trouble, otherwise, I won't let you go." I remained expressionless, listening to Reese deep emotions and warnings. After he finished speaking, under his angry gaze, I let out a cold laugh. "What do you think you are, idiot? Everyone likes Shunyan. She is excellent, kind, and wonderful. At school, she has consistently ranked first in her grade for years, and is a top contender aiming for Tsinghua and Peking University. Having achieved the top score in the college entrance examination, she participates in various competitions, is good at singing and dancing, and is skilled in playing musical instruments, chess, calligraphy, and painting. But she would not feel superior because of her excellence. She was always gentle with a slight smile towards her teachers and classmates. At home, she was the pride of her parents, the hope of the family, and the one everyone praised. She never contradicted her elders, always obedient and well-behaved. No matter what high demands were placed on her, she would always nod obediently. Yet it was such a person who, in the year she took the college entrance examination, in the year she became the top scorer, climbed to the rooftop during her parents' grand banquet, accepting everyone's envy and jealousy, and jumped off to end her life. No one knows why she committed suicide, including me. It was just later, as I grew older, and as my memories repeatedly rewound, that I glimpsed the mottled beauty beneath. I also parted ways unhappily with Reese, and I leisurely went home. I just opened the door and saw Shunfang holding a glass of milk for Shunyan. She has a gentle gaze, softly stroking Shunyan's long hair. Mom will take you to see teacher by later. She said you've improved very quickly, but you can't be proud, you must keep working hard. By the way, do you really not recognize that boy just now? Give your phone to Mom so she can check. Nyan Nyan, this is a critical moment, you must not emulate Kaya Shu by getting mixed up with those dubious boys. Kaya Shu is already done for, you are the only one left for your mom, you must make her proud. Alright, hurry up and drink the milk while it's hot. Shunfang had already noticed my presence, but she didn't care, and even looked at me disdainfully with a rolled eye. I silently thought, as a daughter who has already fallen from grace, I can't let this bad reputation rest on me. So I stepped forward a few paces, snatched the glass cup from Shunyan's hand, and smashed it on the ground with a crash. Kaya Shu, what do you want to do? Shunfang shouted hysterically. I raised my eyebrows. If I can't drink this milk in the future, she and Shunyan won't be able to drink it either. Did I drink milk when I was very young? I don't remember. Anyway, ever since I can remember, I haven't touched the good things in the house, those exquisite foods, paired with nutritious meals. As soon as my chopsticks were about to reach out, Shunfang would slap my hand away. What are you eating? This is prepared for Nyan Nyan by me. It's a waste to feed you. Might as well feed it to the dog can guard the house. What can you do? At first, I would cry and make a fuss about it, but all I got in return was a beating. I couldn't get anything else. Shunfang always hits me with a heavy hand. She raised her hand high and brought it down heavily with a loud smack. I was hit so hard that I turned my face away, and half of my face and even my head went numb. Kaya Shu, have you gone against the heavens? Do you still want to drink milk? Don't you think about whether your grades match? Even compared to Nyan Nyan, you should look at your own character. Get out of here. This house doesn't welcome you, she said as she grabbed the ruler from the table and was about to hit me. I didn't obediently accept this time. I ran away, pushing over tables, chairs, and vases as I ran. A crisp sound of chaos echoed in the room. And the house was becoming increasingly disheveled. Shunfang screamed as she chased after me. No matter how chaotic or noisy it was, Shunyan just sat there obediently, quietly watching, neither helping anyone nor stopping anyone. She even picked up a book from the table and started to read, completely unconcerned, until I snatched her phone away. Finally, she looked up at me. A moment of doubt appeared in her cold gaze, then it stiffened. She stiffly watched me rush into her room with my phone. Slamming the door shut with a bang, the first thing I wanted to do was lock the door from the inside. I found that the lock cylinder was broken, and it didn't have that function at all. I could only press my back hard against the door. Outside the door were Shunfang's kicking and shouting. A twisted yet joyful smile appeared on my face. I took out my phone, opened it, and shouted with a crying voice, "Hello, is this 110? My mom is going to beat me to death. Please come quickly, come save me." Shunfang has been taken away. After she continued to resist, scratched a police officer's neck, and threatened to kill me, she will face 24 hours of detention. The police looked at me with pity, asking if I needed help contacting other relatives. He subtly told me that they could only do so much, and if I insisted on having Shunfang detained, I would face a more embarrassing situation when she got out. I nodded repeatedly and expressed my gratitude, but I insisted that she must be detained. No matter what, at least I can have a good sleep. The police looked at me with more sympathy. At the same time, he pointed at Shunyan. Is that your sister or your younger sister? Is she okay? Compared to my pitiful appearance, Shunyan, who has been expressionless and isolated from the world, seems more concerning. I gave her, tapped my head, and said in a voice that Shunyan could hear, well, has some issues. She's foolish. Shunyan froze, seemingly gritting her teeth. Out of humanitarianism, the police contacted our father, the one who often worked away from home, desperately making money, and only returned during the holidays or when Shunyan achieved something significant. He politely apologized to the police, saying he would definitely return in time and would restrain his wife's behavior, but I know that at least for these 2 days, he won't be coming back. After sending off the police, I yawned. Shunyan looked at me with an inexplicable expression. I stretched lazily, lifted my foot, and walked into Shunyan's bedroom, unceremoniously lying down on her bed. About 5 minutes passed, and footsteps were heard. When I opened my eyes, Shunyan was standing by the bed with a serious expression, looking at me. "This is my room. Oh, please go out. What if I don't go out? This is my room. Can you only say this one sentence over and over? Can't every essay written be used as a model essay? What, you really cherish this bed? Do you like it a lot?" Shunyan fell silent again, her lips pressing tighter together, and the look she cast at me became even more profound. "Since you don't like it, can I borrow it for a night? This soft bed and fluffy blanket are a first for me. It's fine, no need to see me off, just remember to close the door behind you." With my eyes closed, I no longer paid attention to her. I don't know how long it passed, but she finally left and indeed closed the door for me. But the action of closing the door was not gentle. So she does have emotions. I thought she really didn't care about worldly affairs. I turned over and buried myself in the blanket. What I said to Shunyan wasn't meant to provoke her. There is no room for me in this 3-bedroom apartment. At first, there was one, the smallest and darkest study. Later, Shunyan started playing the piano, and in order to accommodate the more than 100,000 yuan piano, Shunfang cleared out my room and put a retractable door on the balcony. The space there is too small to fit a single bed. Shunfang bought a folding bed. Xu Guiyong disagreed. "You're being too unreasonable. How can Kaya live like this?" Shunfang was unconcerned. "What can we do? The house is just this big." Teacher Bai said that Nyan Nyan has exceptional talent in piano and has the potential to become a master. For Nyan Nyan, we all have to make sacrifices. If she were as talented as Nyan Nyan, I would prioritize her too. After hearing this, Xu Guiyong remained silent for a long time, and finally sighed without saying anything more. From then on, I lived on a cramped balcony. I have lived there for nearly 10 years. I have hated Shunfang, hated Xu Guiyong. The one I hate the most is Shunyan. She enjoyed everything with ease, never saying a word for me in the face of Shunfang's criticism, mistreatment, and abuse towards me. I have looked at her with countless expectations, only to end up disappointed. I even feel that her gaze towards me is cold, condescending, and filled with glee. She hates me, just as I hate her, but why should she hate me? That night I slept in a daze and had countless dreams. In the dreams, there were Shunfang and Xu Guiyong, but more often than not, it was Shunyan and Rees-Ju, too, falling from a building. Shunyan's brains burst and his face was unrecognizable. Everyone was screaming and collapsing. One by one, they shook my shoulders, questioning me. "Why aren't you the one who died?" Those ferocious faces gradually became clear, and they were also Rees-Ju's face. He pinched my neck, gritting his teeth. "Why didn't you die instead?" Woke up from a dream, drenched in sweat. As soon as I opened the door, I saw Rees-Ju standing at the door, facing Shunyan, blushing and looking like a deer in the headlights, as innocent as you can get. Shunyan, good morning. Have you had breakfast? I bought some. Would you like to try?" He raised his hand as if presenting a treasure. "Not just a few, it's a lot." Shunyan held the door, not allowing him in. The voice was gentle yet carried a sense of distance. "No, thank you. May I ask why you came to my house?" Rees-Ju also stiffened, his gaze wandering and falling on me. I am looking for Kaya Shu." Rees-Ju also felt a bit down, walking along with a long face and saying nothing. Even when I casually took breakfast from him, he remained indifferent. After eating a bowl of wontons and drinking a cup of soy milk, he casually handed me a meat bun. "It's the beef bun from Chen's that you've always wanted to eat, since it's not closed yet. Hurry up and have it." I stopped. The beef buns from Chen's, with thin skins and generous fillings, oily and slightly spicy, were my favorite breakfast during high school. Paired with a freshly ground soy milk, it was satisfying. I have indeed mentioned many times that I miss this breakfast, but Rees-Ju has never responded to this topic. It's not that I didn't hear you, or that I didn't take it to heart, I just didn't want to acknowledge me. Thinking this way, I kicked Rees-Ju's calf. Rees-Ju also let out a cold gasp. "Are you crazy? You're so nervous again. You don't want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you either. Goodbye, never see you again," he shouted angrily at my back. 2 hours later, at a dessert shop, we locked eyes. What are you doing here? Welcome, he looks confused. While I am putting on a fake smile, the name of this dessert shop is a dessert house, which is also run by Reese-Jew's older sister, at this moment. He is questioning his older sister. Did you hire her? Does she understand the law? She is a minor. Elder cousin is smiling happily. If you don't say it, I won't say it. Who would know she's a minor? Reese-Jew also stared with wide eyes, then turned around and questioned me again. Why are you here looking for a job? Is it because you think this silly older sister is easy to deceive? Why do you want to find a job? Lacking money? I curl my lips and say, none of your business. I spent the whole afternoon seeing people off and on. Reese-Jew also sat in the corner, looking like an angry pufferfish. After a long while, when I looked back, he was already lying on his back, mouth open, asleep. The older cousin pinched my arm. Does my brother like you? Do you two have something going on? I expressionlessly tidied up the table. He likes my sister, her, a twin sister who looks exactly like me. Hiss, a substitute literature. Is he such a beast? Hey, wait for me. I will beat him to death. Good news one. Reese-Jew was also beaten so badly by his sister that he jumped around and cowered, running out of the dessert shop. Good news two. I got this part-time job through a trial, with a wage of 10 yuan per hour, double on holidays, paid monthly. After leaving the dessert shop, Reese-Jew was still crouching in the corner. As soon as I saw him, I stood up. Get lost if you have a fart. Can't you speak properly? Let me go. What did you tell my sister? Why did she hit me? I rolled my eyes, completely not wanting to bother with him. Reese-Jew also grabbed me suddenly. Kaya Shu, have you been living on the balcony all this time? Why, your house clearly has 3 bedrooms. Why do you want to live on the balcony? Later, you bought such a big house and customized a 3-meter wide bed. Is that why? But why do you go to the study to sleep every time I'm not home? And is it never ending? I impatiently pushed him away. We are no longer involved. It doesn't matter now, and it won't matter in the future. Mind your own business. Stop prying into my affairs. What does it have to do with him? Yes, want what you lack. I bought such a big house and customized a 3-meter wide bed just because I have never had it, but such a big house and such a big bed make me afraid. The emptiness makes people feel uneasy. Only when curled up in a study filled with stuff, lying on a narrow sofa bed, can I feel safe. So ironic, so sad. I thought that growing up would make up for the deficiencies of my youth. It turns out that was the barrenness of my entire life. After being released from the detention center, Shun Fang immediately called the teachers of various tutoring classes, requesting to make up for Xun Yang's missed lessons. Then she hurried into the kitchen to cook a nutritious meal for her precious baby. At first, she glared angrily and wanted to hit me. I am shaking my phone. If you dare to make a move, I will call the police. Shun Fang was gasping with anger. Give Ningning's phone back to her. Don't return it. You either buy her a new one, or she can just not use it anymore. Shun Fang's face turned red with anger as she pulled Xunyan aside for a thorough check, asking her if I had bullied her in the last 24 hours. Xunyan was listless, shaking her head and saying nothing. To Shun Fang, this looked like I definitely hadn't done anything good, but she was also afraid. So she didn't dare to really hit me, can only hold her own chest. What a sin! How could I have given birth to such a troublemaker like you? You are uneducated and still want to bully Nyan Nyan. You should have been strangled to death back then. Why didn't I just strangle you? With a surge of anger that had no outlet, she ultimately chose to ignore me. Just treat me as if I don't exist. There is no food for me, no dishes for me, and even the water at home has been moved to Xunyan's room. I shrugged and went to the balcony. I ate a few slices of toast and a sandwich by the light of the window, fragrant. From that day on, Shun Fang completely excluded me. If it weren't for fear of gossip from outsiders, I probably wouldn't be able to enter this door, but I don't care at all. Getting up early every day to work, only returning when night falls. If you're hungry, eat bread. If you're thirsty, drink mineral water. The only annoying thing is that Reese-Jew always lingers around. It started to rain heavily. At first it was a bit stuffy, but then the wind blew and brought a touch of coldness. When I left the store, I shrank my neck and hesitated about which way to go. Reese-Jew also handed over an umbrella. Here, take it. I pretended I didn't see anything and moved slightly to the side. He irritably made a TSK sound. What are you pretending? Are you not planning to go home anymore? Or do you want to run home in the rain? My eyebrows were full of gloom, and I raised my eyes to glare at him. What exactly do you want to do? Restu's hand tightened as well. I want to ask you a question. Why does Shunyan want to jump off the building? Kayashu, are you not the least bit anxious? That is your sister. She is connected to you by blood, born of the same mother. She will jump off the building, commit suicide, and die. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to save her? You should stay by her side. Protect her and take care of her, instead of making money here. Restu's words were powerful and passionate, so affectionate. My initial sharp opposition slowly faded. And I even chuckled softly at him. He was frozen, somewhat bewildered, somewhat confused, somewhat hesitant to speak. I didn't give him another chance to speak and turned to rush into the rain. The rain was pouring down heavily, crashing onto me. I couldn't open my eyes, and my clothes were instantly soaked. But I had no intention of stopping and ran straight home in one breath. My clothes were all stuck to my body, dripping water down, and it was extremely uncomfortable. I knocked on the door. But no one responded. I knocked again with force, but still no one came to open the door. Exhaling a breath of turbid air, I somewhat exhaustedly sat down against the door. My body felt soft and weak, shivering with chills. I touched my forehead and found it somewhat hot. Good fortune rarely comes alone, and disasters come in pairs. I think I might have a fever. Shenfang won't open the door for me anymore. Shunyan won't care about me either. I have even less right to have the key to this home. I guess I must be the most unfortunate and useless reborn person. Leaning against the door, I drifted into a hazy sleep. I don't know how long it had been. But suddenly the door opened. Against the light of the hallway, I saw Shunyan standing there in a nightgown with her long hair cascading down. I pushed her aside and entered the house, unable to help but let out a sneer, really seeing something for the first time in a long while. You actually opened the door for me. I thought you couldn't wait to see me dead outside. Shunyan didn't say a word, just closed the door, crouched down, and wiped the water stains off the floor with a towel. Unlike Shenfang's indifference, Shunyan truly didn't care, didn't mind, and was indifferent. It felt as if I were a stranger or a transparent person. She can't see me, nor does she want to see me. Then why do you want to ask me for help? Shunyan, have you ever, even once, wanted to stand up for me, in this family? You are spoiled and receive all the benefits, but you've never said a word to me. Are you especially proud, putting me under your foot, watching me be wronged and abused, while you live like a little princess? Are you especially happy? Do you dislike me that much? Shunyan remained silent, but the movement in her hand stopped. I am waiting. Seconds pass, minutes flow by. The light in my eyes slowly fades. My footsteps move slightly, wanting to turn around. Shunyan suddenly stood up. The towel fell on the ground. Her arms were so tense that they trembled. Suppressing her voice, she growled, "Yes, I hate you. I hate you to death. Kayashu, you're just a failure. When did your memory start? At 6 years old, 8, or 10? I'm 2 years old, while you were still stacking blocks and playing with dolls. I could already recite the 3-character classic by heart. Mom was particularly happy and called Dad to let me read it to him. She told Dad to hurry back because she wanted to take me to the hospital for an IQ test. 120. This is my test result. My intelligence level is relatively high, making me one of the more outstanding individuals in the population. But that's about it. But Mom wouldn't listen. She just thought she gave birth to a genius. Geniuses need their own ways of nurturing and educational investment. She envisioned a bright future. I said I wanted to eat candy, and she said no, geniuses can't eat candy. But Dad still bought me 2. I ate the lychee flavored one and left the strawberry flavored one for you. That was the last lollipop I ate. Kayashu, how can you live so carefree and unrestrained? I've asked you before. Stop going out to play, study with me, read books, and keep me company. But you can't sit still, can't focus on studying. You're just a waste. You're a waste. Merely someone who gets scolded and beaten by your mother and ultimately abandoned and ignored. But I am a genius. If I go from being a genius to being useless, I will die. She will kill me. a lightning bolt streaked through the dark night, illuminating Xunyan with a look of fury. Her eyes were bloodshot, filled with confusion, helplessness, and fear. A thunderclap suddenly exploded in her ears. I couldn't help but shiver, a bone-chilling cold spreading from my fingertips to my whole body. What nonsense are you talking about? Who will kill you? Shenfang. Xunyan was on the verge of collapse, raising her hand to wipe away her tears. You don't understand anything. Have you ever been in a room that can't be locked? There is always someone quietly standing behind you, anywhere and anytime. She can't understand the content in the books, but she will suddenly say that you are too close to the book, that your posture is wrong, and that you can't lose focus. You dare not relax even for a second. Those eyes follow you like a shadow, like a persistent saw. Have you ever tried to sleep while being watched by someone? Opening my eyes, there is someone standing at the foot of your bed, wiping your sweat, covering you with a blanket, holding your hand, or doing nothing at all, just quietly watching you. You are my everything. I only have you now. You must work hard. You can't slack off. You can't fall behind. You must take first place. Be the best one. My child should be the best. Only if you do your best will Dad come back, and won't abandon us. Otherwise, what will we do? I can only drag you to death. Everything spoken seemed to have exhausted all of Shu's strength. She leaned against the sofa and took a long time to stand up again. The voice returned to calm. Mom took sleeping pills and won't wake up tonight. You came in by yourself. It has nothing to do with me. She walked with unsteady steps. Like a wandering soul, back to her room. I released my strength and fell into the chair. There are some things I no longer want to ask, including those words under the bedboard. Xunyan's suicide was a mystery. She left no word, not a single letter. Shenfang almost dismantled the entire house, trying to find the truth behind Xunyan's suicide. Until the bedboard was lifted, everyone froze in place. The crooked words carved on it are like a pair of large hands, choking everyone's throat. Help me. Help me. Help me. Kaya Shu, help me. Why does Xunyan want someone to save her? Why is my name up there? Shenfang was choking my neck, her voice hoarse. What did you do to Nyan Nyan? Isn't it you who harmed her? Kaya Shu, why don't you just die? Why wasn't it you who died? I don't understand either. Why? Is Xunyan asking me to save her? Or is it because of me that she needs someone to save her? At that moment, Shenfang's hatred for me had already left me unmoved. I am in deep confusion. Xunyan, what exactly do you want to tell me? That night, I occupied her room. After she closed the door, I crawled under the bed. There is not a speck of dust there. It's cleaner than the floors outside. I turned on the phone's light and directed it towards the bed frame. The densely packed and crooked characters have already occupied half of the space. I trembled as I reached for my name. So, Xunyan, are you asking me to save you? Shenfang glared at me. How did you get in? I was calmly eating porridge. Lock me out. Last night was the first time, and the last time. Otherwise, or else, what will happen otherwise? Shenfang coldly laughed and said, This is my house. You can only enter if I let you. If I don't let you in. Kaya Shu, what are you doing? She screamed in shock, wanting to step forward but didn't dare. I grabbed Xunyan's hair and brought the scissors close to her scalp. She stayed perfectly still, not saying a word except for a muffled groan of pain at the very beginning. Shenfang was trembling all over, angry and anxious. Let go of Nyan Nyan. What exactly are you trying to do? I raised an eyebrow. Don't move, otherwise, with one quick cut, I won't know whether I'm cutting her hair or her neck. Shenfang took a deep breath. Kaya Shu, with a snap, I cut off a large lock of Xunyan's waist-length hair. Shenfang's painful cry sounded, as if I had cut her flesh. This voice delighted me. Without any rules or aesthetics, I swung the scissors, each cut driven by intense force. Strands of hair fell one by one, scattered chaotically on the ground. Shenfang's cries echoed in my ears. At this moment, Xunyan looked disheveled, with uneven hair of different lengths and strands everywhere, but she kept her eyes downcast, as if none of this had anything to do with her. Finally, I threw down the scissors. The next second, Shenfang roared and charged at me, pushing me out with a forceful shove. She trembled as she cupped Xunyan's face, her eyes filled with the pain of seeing her precious treasure desecrated. She shouted again and picked up a nearby stool. I sprinted outside, but just as I was about to reach the door, a flying stool hit me in the back. It hurt so much that I gasped. But I kept walking quickly, running down the stairs with quick steps. Also bumped into Reese-Jew, who was going upstairs. "What's wrong with you? Why do you look so pale? Are you hurt? What's that sound upstairs? Did you have a fight with your mom? Get lost." Reese-Jew also looked at me with a bad expression and pulled me away. "Why are you always like this? Kaya-shu, can't you speak properly? Like a stone in a latrine, both stinky and hard. Can't you just change your temper, no matter what? That's your mom, you." I took a deep breath and pushed him away. "It's early in the morning. Don't force me to slap you. Kaya-shu, Reese-Jew too." I looked at him coldly. "You little young master who grew up in a honey trap. Keep your distance from me, from my family, and from Shunyan." Reese-Jew's lips pressed into a straight line, and his expression gradually darkened. "I can't do it, Kaya-shu. This time I will not give up on Shunyan no matter what. I will protect her and ensure she is not harmed in any way." "Ha!" I let out a cold laugh, my smile filled with sarcasm. "Protect her? Who are you? Does she remember who you are? Doesn't understand anything. Still wants to be a hero, idiot." The days pass slowly. I have completely broken off with that family. As long as I'm around, the atmosphere at home will drop to freezing point. Like an ice cave, Shunfang took Shunyan to get their hair done. She now looks like a tomboy. She has become more indifferent to me. Even the peripheral light doesn't fall on me. I still leave early and return late every day, busy and hectic. The only eyesore is Reese-Jew as well, after disappearing for 3 or 4 days. He started showing up at the dessert shop every day. He would stay all day. We had no communication, but I knew he often stared at me in a daze. Soon, half of the summer vacation had passed, and I received my first paycheck in my life. At the same time, the day I was waiting for had come. Tomorrow, Shunyan will attend the city's concert, which will be live-streamed. For such an important occasion, our extremely busy father must be present. Shunfang's tense muscles are visibly evident. She guarded Shunyan, having her play the pieces over and over again. While telling her not to be nervous, she kept repeating, "You must perform well. Don't make mistakes, absolutely no errors." At this, I sneered coldly. Shunfang glared at me resentfully. In the morning, before dawn, Shunyan was awakened by Shunfang and started to play again. I irritably buried myself in the quilt and fell back into a heavy sleep. By the time I woke up again, they had already disappeared. There are quite a few people in the dessert shop today. After a busy time, my cousin raised her eyebrows at me. "Where's my silly little brother? Why didn't he come today?" "I don't know, maybe he's off cultivating his emotions." "What is that?" I chuckled and didn't explain. When I got home at night, Shunfang was so happy that she danced with joy, repeatedly saying that Shunyan was her pride. It seems the performance was perfect, but I didn't see Shu Guiyong's shadow. "Hey, where is my old father?" 3 times he passed by the family door without entering. Shunfang's face stiffened, clearly touched on a sore spot. "What do you know? Your dad is very busy, otherwise. Where do these food and drinks come from? Do you think making money is easy? Really? I thought he was busy coaxing his concubine. What are you talking nonsense about?" "Alright," I shrugged. "Consider it me talking nonsense." Shunfang blocked me with a dark face. "Do you know something?" I pretended to smile while grinding Shunfang's patience. Seeing her about to explode, I spoke slowly. "At Juanhao Hotel, I saw him walk in holding a woman." Shunfang looked as if struck by lightning. Her face twisted like a devil. She grabbed the bag on the table and rushed out without looking back. Compared to Shunfang, I dislike Shu Guiyong more. I was dependent on him when I was younger. He is not as biased and mean as Shunfang. He always disagrees with Shunfang's actions. The palm and the back of the hand are all flesh. How could there be someone like you? So I told him all my sadness and grievances. I said, "If Dad and Mom get divorced, I want to stay with Dad." Shu Guiyong felt both heartbroken and gratified as he rubbed my head. But that night, during the argument between him and Shunfang, he blurted out, "Kaya hopes we get divorced and doesn't want to follow you. Just look at how much of a failure you are as a mother." Shu Guiyong turned around and left with his luggage. Shunfang looked at me ominously, grabbed my hair. and dragged me from the living room to the kitchen, making me kneel in the kitchen all night. I cried while calling Xu Guiyong. I asked him to come back, saying that I was scared. He scolded Shenfang over the phone and then comforted me. But he has never come back. Is this love? Shenfang straightforwardly told me that she does not love me. Xu Guiyong told me that he loves me, that he cares for me, but he does nothing, and in the end, he still tells me that he loves me. It's just that he has no way to do anything. Xunyan took off the wig on her head, slowly stood up, and prepared to return to the bedroom. Remove your makeup. Change your clothes, and come with me. Xunyan's footsteps stopped, but there was no follow-up action. I'll wait for you for 10 minutes. When the time's up, I'll leave. Where do you want to take me? Sell you. Xunyan had a moment of daze. The way she stared blankly at me made my mood inexplicably joyful. I tapped the table. Make it quick. Xunyan suddenly turned around and headed to the bedroom, walking faster and faster. She even stumbled a bit as she approached the door. 8:35. Xunyan left the bedroom, the monotonous white dress, but her face rarely showed a blush, and she was a bit breathless. It must be that she was really anxious. I raised my chin and walked outside first. Xunyan followed closely behind me. No matter when I turned around, she kept a distance of 1 meter from me. For the first stop, I took her to a dessert shop. My cousin widened her eyes. They really do look exactly the same, but you two are too easy to tell apart. With the younger sister being quiet and you being lively, I smiled. They are fundamentally different people, so of course they are easy to recognize. I took a piece of cake and a cup of coffee, and placed them in front of Xunyan, the most popular matcha cake in the shop, cappuccino. Give it a try. Xunyan blinked her eyes and obediently picked up the spoon. I work part-time here. I'm here whenever I'm not at home. The boss is very nice, and my colleagues are also very friendly. But there is a lot to learn. This cappuccino took me a long time to learn. Making latte art is a bit difficult. You should be able to learn it in an hour. Recently, I have been learning how to make cakes with my master, and it's quite interesting. Xunyan ate in small bites while quietly listening to me talk. Half of the cake was taken away by me. Save some room. We'll eat something else later. Do you have anything you want to eat? Xunyan thought for a moment. Street vendor. So I took her to the university town, an entire street of street vendors, from the street to the alley and back to the street again. Took an hour and a half. Xunyan's face looked a little pale. Stomach ache. Yeah, I'm not eating anymore. Let's go. I'll take you to the next place. The bus drove for 20 minutes. And we got off. Looking at the familiar building in front of me, Xunyan felt a bit puzzled. I didn't explain, and took her into a small low-rise building nearby, the second floor. The third room on the left. I opened it with the key. The space is very small, with a bed, a wash basin, and a bathroom. The table and chairs over there are bought by myself. There's no way around it. The rental house near our school is the cheapest here. I rented it using Sister Ju's identity information. She helped pay for a year, and I pay her monthly. As I spoke, I placed the key in Xunyan's hand. This door can be locked from the inside, and there is only this one key. If someone knocks on the door, you can choose to open it or not to open. Do you want to stay here for a night? Xunyan tightly gripped the key in her hand, her fingertips turning white. A minute passed, and I didn't wait for her answer any longer. Walking out of the rental house, outside the door, I squatted for a long time until I heard the sound of the door locking. The corners of her mouth lifted slightly out of sight, and I slowly got up and went downstairs. Shenfang has never been easy to get along with. She is stubborn to the point of obsession, controlling, and anything that escapes her control will drive her crazy. The one who can most ignite her emotions is Xu Guiyong. Guiyong doesn't answer her calls. Guiyong doesn't take her out. Guiyong doesn't go home. Do you know how busy I am? Do you know how hard it is to raise a family? Then I will take care of the children while you earn money. Shenfang is just a paper tiger. She can throw a tantrum and act unreasonable. But with Xu Guiyong, she kept retreating. As long as he gets home, it's fine. As long as we don't get divorced, it's fine. Xu Guiyong has something going on outside. And she is completely unaware. That's impossible. It's just turning a blind eye and deceiving oneself. Now that I've exposed it, Shenfang is definitely going to go crazy. She rushed into the hotel and hit the mistress. Xu Guiyong was furious and kicked Shenfang out. To his surprise, someone reported the hotel for involvement in prostitution, not only attracting the police but also reporters who followed closely behind. This scene was completely recorded by the surveillance camera. Those who should go to the hospital go to the hospital, and those who should go to the police station go to the police station. Another beautiful night. The next day, when I stood in front of Xunyan, her expression changed from confusion to shock, then to understanding, and finally turned pale. Kaya Shu, what do you want to do? In the reflection of the window, I was a short-haired version of her, cut by the barber using her photo as a reference, and this white dress was taken from her wardrobe. With her cold and indifferent expression identical to hers, no one can tell which one is Xunyan and which one is Kaya Shu. I looked at her seriously. Let's play a game. From today on, you are Kaya Shu, and I am Xunyan. You escape, and I'll settle the scores. Xu Guiyong does not admit to having an affair. He only said that she was his subordinate, and the reason they were in the same room was to discuss work. It is Shenfang who is paranoid and does not trust him. Since there isn't even the most basic trust, it's better to get a divorce. Hearing this, Shenfang instantly wilted. She accepted Xu Guiyong's words and swallowed the anger hard. In the living room, Xu Guiyong had already lost patience. Alright, I've already sent you back. There's still work at the factory. I have to leave immediately. You're not eating at home, Xu Guiyong. Do you still consider this home? I'm busy from morning to night. You can't even be seen. We finally got you back. And before you even get comfortable, you're leaving again. Are you done? Do you know that because of your fuss, I lost several tens of thousands? What if I don't go back? No more clients, no more money, life is over. Shenfang closed her mouth, holding back her anger. She swallowed hard but couldn't swallow it. And she couldn't spit it out either. Xu Guiyong threw a disdainful glance at her, then looked at me with a gentle and warm breeze. Nyan nyan. You have to study well at home and listen to Mom. If you want anything, tell Dad, and he will buy it for you. By the way, where's Kaya? Why haven't I seen her all this time? Shenfang, did you scold or beat Kaya again? You say you're a mother, but your palm is full of flesh. How could you be so biased? It's better not to mention this name. But as soon as you do, Shenfang almost fainted. I spoke slowly. Kaya Shu was driven away by me. Shenfang and Xu Guiyong looked at me at the same time. And the air quieted down, to the point where you could hear a pin drop. Nyan nyan, what are you saying? What do you mean Kaya was driven away by you? Has Kaya Shu bullied you again? Damn it, what a misfortune at home, such misfortune. I maintain a calm expression and a calm tone. Kaya Shu has severely impacted my studies, making it impossible for me to concentrate. So I ask her not to come back until after the college entrance examination. This. Xu Guiyong's face was full of condemnation and disapproval. Nyan nyan, Kaya is your sister after all. Although she is stubborn and unruly, you can't just push her away. That's your mistake. What nonsense are you talking about? Do you know what Kaya Shu looks like now? Look at Nyan nyan's hair. It was cut by Kaya Shu. She even called the police to arrest me. It's good to kick her out. I've wanted to do that for a long time. Don't you have any sense of being a mother? The household is in chaos. And it's all because of you. So, do you have some idea of what it means to be a father? You, being unreasonable, I don't want to argue with you. The two of them argued again, and I got up to break the deadlock. I think the most important thing at this stage is the college entrance examination. To prepare for the exam, everyone in our family should compromise and make concessions. Since Kaya Shu is also a member of the family, what does it matter if she makes a little sacrifice? Shenfang's eyes lit up, and he kept nodding in agreement. Xu Guiyong looked hesitant. Forget it, it's up to you guys. I don't care anymore. Dad, you are the backbone of our family. How can you not care? I happen to have something to ask for your help. Dad, can you give me 50,000 yuan? Xu Guiyong widened his eyes. Nyan nyan. Why do you need 50,000 yuan? This is the living expenses, tuition fees, and accommodation fees for Kaya Shu for the next year, I promised her. And she guaranteed that she won't go around talking about it. She will tell everyone that she chose to move out voluntarily. 50,000 yuan is not a lot, but it's enough for a student to live comfortably for a year and have some left over for college. $50,000 is not a small amount. Even if Xu Guiyong can casually take it out to buy a bag for someone else, he is unwilling to give it to this family. We're all family. Why are we still talking about money? Kaya is really being unreasonable. Shunfang also thinks it's too much. Why should she get it? Whatever she wants, just give it to her. Has the world turned upside down? I didn't interrupt, letting them vent, until finally, I casually said, when I get the top score in the college entrance exam, I am sure there will be media interviews. I really hope there won't be any gossip at that time. For a moment, they all fell silent. Xu Guiyong reluctantly accepted the 50,000 yuan. And Shunfang felt a pain as if a piece of her flesh had been bitten off. When I took Xunyan over, she was standing at the counter wearing a wig and my clothes. Ju was right beside her, slowly operating the coffee machine. Glancing at her after finishing each step, when Xunyan obediently nodded, Ju also curved his lips into a smile, looking very satisfied. Staring at this scene, I watched for a long time, then without hesitation, he turned and left. Ju also caught up with me when I reached the station. Kaya Shu. He was panting heavily. I knew at first glance that it wasn't you. Xunyan committed suicide. Is it related to your parents? So this is the plan you came up with, to replace her, Kaya Shu. What do you want to do? Ju too. I brushed his messy hair as I did in my past life. Ju also froze, his eyes surging with emotions I couldn't understand. Kaya Shu, don't mess around, I chuckled softly, afraid I would commit suicide. Do you think I am the type to do that? Ju also shook his head. You can't, even if you want to commit suicide, you'll drag someone down with you. How should I put it? You understand me quite well, so, mind your own business. If you really want to do something, just like today, help Xunyan check for emissions and fill in the gaps. Ju, you can't be anyone's savior. The only one who can save her is herself. When I got home, Shunfang had already prepared dinner, the monotonous stew beef, scrambled eggs, greens, rice, and a glass of milk. Nyan nyan, drink the milk first while it's hot. I picked up the milk, and in front of Shunfang, I poured it all into the sink. Xunyan, what are you doing? I won't drink this milk anymore. Why? Do you know this is to supplement your nutrition? I've never drunk it, just focused on giving it to you. How can you spill it? Do you really not know that I am lactose intolerant? I have also asked Xunyan this question. She was silent for a long time, nodded, and said she knew, when she was very young, she didn't drink milk often, only occasionally. Shunfang would give her a drink, when she vomited and had diarrhea. Shunfang would excitedly call Xu Guiyong, say that Xunyan is sick and ask him to come back quickly. If Xunyan refuses to drink, she will stare at Xunyan and say, "Don't you want Dad to come back and see you?" Shunfang's face looked a bit grim. Lactose intolerance. How come I don't know? Nyan nyan. Don't listen to what others are saying. They're just trying to make money and fool you into buying health products. Mom is doing it for your own good, you see. You've been drinking for so many years and there's still no problem. Can Mom still harm you? I took a step back and looked at her with disappointment. I study so hard, have no demands on you. I just hope you can do a good job supporting me. You can't even handle such a simple thing as a reasonable diet and healthy combination. Forget it. I still suggest Dad hire a nanny for me. Shunfang's face was full of disbelief. Who do you think I've been working so hard for? Are you going to hire a nanny? Xunyan, do you have any conscience? I looked confused, but you really didn't do well. Isn't it okay to say it's not done well? Mom, you have to admit your mistakes, and only then can you correct them. Shunfang fell. When she lost her temper and raised her hand to slap me, I tripped her, looking down from a high position with a blank expression. Mom, you look just like a shrew like this. At 3 a.m., the alarm clock woke me up. I took a knife from the kitchen and entered Shunfang's bedroom. After I angered her, her face turned a liver color, and she went into the bedroom and didn't come out again, not even for dinner. Walking to her bed, the knife and the cabinet clanged together, the sound dull, but in the silent late night it was clearly audible. Shunfang moved slightly, slowly woke up, and made eye contact with me. In the next second, shattered, collapsing, terrified screams erupted. Mom, don't be afraid, it's me. Xunyan, what do you want to do? Why are you standing by my bed with a knife? Shunfang curled up in the corner with the blanket, her voice sharp to the point of splitting. I sighed and sat down by her bed. Mom, do you usually use this knife to cook for me? I am waving the knife, it's so heavy. Chopping vegetables must be very tiring. Although you're not very good at it, there's no denying you put in effort. Mom, as long as you don't affect my studies and future, you will ultimately be my most loved mom. Alright, go to sleep, I'll watch over you. Shunfang's appearance was already on the verge of breaking down. She forcibly suppressed her fear and sent me back. But she didn't know that tonight was just the beginning. The next day, when she saw me ordering from the downstairs restaurant and having someone deliver the food, she erupted again. In front of the waiter, she threw all the food on the ground, then screamed and smashed everything on the table. I said nothing, with an expressionless face, just watching her coldly and with disgust. Shunfang's movements became smaller and smaller, and she gradually hesitated, even showing a hint of embarrassment on her face. TSK, I clicked my tongue and stepped outside. Where are you going? Shunfang grabbed me. I calmly meet her gaze. Mom, I have heavy coursework this afternoon. I need to replenish my nutrients. Fear and anxiety often stem from a lack of a sense of power. When I was young, I was afraid of Shunfang because I couldn't resist her. She could easily slap me away, drag me along effortlessly, and pin me to the ground. I didn't even have the strength to struggle. Later, I hated Shunfang. I hated her favoritism, the way she mistreated me, and her indifference, but I no longer fear her. I can dodge her slaps, and if I can't dodge, I can run. Even when I grabbed her arm, she couldn't break free. My sister ate very poorly since she was young, always leftovers. But her body is better than mine. She's not only stronger but also gets sick less often. And I, who grew up in luxury, get out of breath after just a few steps. Teacher Bai is a very gentle and meticulous person. When she saw me breathing heavily, she asked if I was feeling unwell. So I smiled bitterly and told her about this. You don't know, but I'm actually lactose intolerant. Yet my mom insists that milk is good and forces me to drink it, to keep me in shape. She never lets me eat enough. All my meals are low in oil and salt, bland and tasteless. Beef is good, eggs are good, vegetables are good. I will always only eat these 3 dishes. When I need to fast due to illness, it remains unchanged. I don't do outdoor sports because it's a waste of time. My 2 legs are almost degenerating. Teacher Bai's face was filled with heartache. Why is your mom like this? Whether something is good or not completely depends on its suitability. Everyone's constitution is different. Doesn't she understand? I looked at Teacher Bai with emotion. I caught a glimpse of the slightly open door. Shunfang will definitely come over because my sheet music is in her bag. So I sighed and spoke up. If only you were my mother. Teacher Bai, my mother should be like you, gentle, knowledgeable, and respectful of others. You said that an adult who can't even control their own emotions, what right do they have to give birth and perpetuate the next generation? Shunfang was in a daze all the way. As soon as I got upstairs, I saw Reese-Ju pacing at the door, carrying a box of pastries. What are you here for? Kayashu no longer lives here, so don't come here anymore. Reese-Ju also scratched his head, feeling a bit embarrassed. Auntie, actually, the one I like is classmate Shunyan. This is a pastry I made myself, and I want to let classmate Shunyan try it. Shunfang was stunned, her gaze at me filled with disappointment and a hint of delight. Shunyan, what's going on? Is that what he said? Don't you know that this is a critical period for your college entrance exam? How could you do such a thing? You really let me down. I said oh and opened the door, also taking the pastry from Reese-Ju's hand. Thank you. Shunfang snatched the pastry and threw it to the ground. Little kid, are you in love already? Your father and I have worked hard to earn money to send you to school, so you can study, not to date. Shunyan, you have really disappointed me. The word disappointed nearly came out of her mouth through gritted teeth. I raised my eyebrows. It's him who likes me, not me who likes him. Why does he not like others, but only likes you? Did you really not do anything? If you think like that, there's nothing I can do. Shunyan, what attitude do you have? In Shunfang's roar, I entered the kitchen, took out a kitchen knife, and threw it on the ground. If you think he shouldn't like me, then kill him. Shunfang fell silent. Reese-Jew also swallowed and subtly moved his footsteps outward. He was called by me. Reese-Jew can be a bit annoying too, after going through so much. He probably realizes that showing up in front of Shun Fang would cause trouble for me or Xunyan, so he became cautious, but still kept lingering around. I just gave him a call. Come if you want, stay if you love. To drive someone crazy, you can't always use a single element. When every point around her can make her explode, she's not far from breaking down. That night, I appeared again in front of Shun Fang's bed, staring at her intently. This time, I didn't need to make any sound. She jumped up in less than half a minute. I held her hand, my voice gentle. Mom, only you and I are left in this home. You won't leave me, right? You have to believe that no matter what happens, I will always love you, but it would be better if you were a little more excellent. My mom must be the strongest one. Otherwise, how could she be my mom? Don't you think? Okay, I'll stay with you while you sleep, just like when we were kids. I won't leave you. And you should never leave me for the rest of your life. Just 2 days, after I appeared in front of Shun Fang's bed for 2 consecutive nights, she locked the door. No matter how I take pictures or call, she refuses to open. So I took a kitchen knife and chopped the door. I made a small hole right in the middle of the sturdy wooden door. I bent down and leaned forward to look inside. Shun Fang stood there stiffly. I opened my mouth with a grin. Mom, why did you lock the door? I can't get in. Ah. Shun Fang's continuous screams woke up the residents upstairs and downstairs. Not long after, someone came over. What's going on here? Shun Fang quickly opened the door and rushed out, pointing at me and shouting, "She's crazy. She's trying to cut my door with a knife. She's crazy. Catch her quickly." I tilted my head with an innocent look on my face. It's because Mom locked the door from the inside. I can't get in. That is my room. But the door lock of my room was broken by you. And you can come and go at any time. You love me this way, so of course I have to love you this way too. Isn't that right? The next day, Shun Fang looked pale and avoided eye contact, and someone replaced the lock for me. Sometimes, if the reasoning doesn't add up, there's no need to argue further. She said that when a knife cuts into the body it doesn't hurt, so you should cut her once. The summer vacation has ended before I even realized it. I haven't seen Xunyan again. When school started, in a very tacit understanding, she went to my seat, and I went to her seat. Just like before, we have no communication, and when we meet face to face, we just avoid each other. The only one who feels nervous is Reese-Jew. He asked me what would happen if my grades were not up to par. I scoffed. Who set the rule that Xunyan must be the top of the class? Does Xunyan want to be the top of the class? Xunyan doesn't want to. Xunyan doesn't even know what she wants. She is becoming increasingly confused, daydreaming during class and sleeping on the desk after class. I threw a book in front of her. See what you want to learn and which school you want to attend. Xunyan called out to me. What do you want? I blurted out. Make money, a lot of money. I have already started persuading Shun Fang to ask Xu Guiyong for money. Shun Fang is a very awkward person. It was only when I became Xunyan that I realized Xu Guiyong only gave 2,000 in living expenses to the family each month. She budgets these 2,000 carefully and always tells Xu Guiyong on the phone that she hasn't spent a penny on herself. She takes pride in this. The only reason that allows her to confidently ask Xu Guiyong for money is, this money is spent on your child, not for my own use. Twisted, stubborn, and self-inflicted suffering. Is she a pitiful person? Yes. But that's her issue. What does it have to do with Kaya Shu and Xunyan? Shun Fang's aging is clearly visible. She is becoming less confident. Whenever she shows any resistance, I quickly suppress her. How do you suppress someone? As long as you jump out of her logic and don't care about her emotions, it becomes easy. Just like when I ask Xu Guiyong for money, why do I need to find a reason? Why do I need an excuse? Whether he is willing to give it or not doesn't matter. If you don't give it, I'll cause trouble. Losing money will avoid disaster. In the past 6 months, the whole family has been in chaos, but no one has asked or mentioned Kaya Shu. Just like when Kaya Shu was 10 years old, she intentionally did poorly on the exam, and no one cared. Xunyan got new shoes, but she did not. The balcony light is so dim, no one has replaced it for her. They forgot to give her her daily allowance, and she went a day hungry, hiding under the corridor at home. she thought, if she disappears? Will Mom and Dad be especially anxious? Will they go crazy looking for her? Then he held her and said they were wrong. They shouldn't have treated her that way. Kayashu is looking forward to it. From dusk to sunset, fewer and fewer people, and the sky is getting darker, no hurried footsteps, no cries or shouts. Kayashu was afraid. She locked herself in the dark, forcing herself to endure. Finally, she reached her limit and ran home crying. Shunfang sneered, "You still have the face to run away from home. If you have the ability, don't come back for your whole life. You expect me to look for you? There's no way." Shu Guiyong sighed, helplessly ruffled Kayashu's hair, his expression gentle and his tone soft. "Don't do this again. Dad will worry. Be good." At that moment, Kayashu shivered. Risju also asked me, "Can they really not tell you apart from Shunyan?" "No, they just don't care. They don't care who is Shunyan and who is Kayashu. They only want that outstanding child. And now, under my torment, they don't even have the heart to care whether Shunyan is outstanding or not." After all, when Shunfang questioned me about why my grades had dropped, I would tell her nonchalantly, "Because of you, you can't give me a good environment. I'm exhausted." It's said that parents are the child's teachers. If you can't even manage your basic body shape and emotions, how can I make progress? Sigh, if only I had a better mother, I would definitely be more capable than I am now. Mom, you neither make money nor take good care of the house. What is your purpose of existence? Shunfang is collapsing every day. Occasionally, she looks at me with a suspicious gaze. But as long as I start playing the piano, she will dispel all doubts. Shunyan now may not be good, but Kayashu is even worse. She definitely won't play the piano. Shunfang can't even tell that I play the same piece every time. It's like she doesn't know. No matter how useless I am, I've always been in the top 10 of my grade. The only thing that ever made me worried was when Shunfang took me to see a psychologist, saying I'm disobedient. My grades are slipping, rebellious. The doctor's diagnosis was moderate depression combined with moderate anxiety. I have some doubts and feel that this is a quack doctor. Later, I thought about it and let it go. Shuzun has a problem. Who says Kayashu must be normal? I was very happy during the days of mutual torment with Shunfang. How could I forget Shu Guiyong when I was so happy? I still remember that time I went to his factory. I took several photos of the sewage outlets. And then there was the ambiguity between him and his married accountant. Important photos must be sent to the right person. Work matters should be directed to competitors. Emotional matters should be directed to the other person's husband. Those photos were also sent out by Risju for me. His gaze was somewhat complicated. Some things he ultimately cannot understand. Empathy is something that is impossible to achieve. It wasn't long before Shu Guiyong began to feel overwhelmed. A furious man's anger caused blood to splash 3 feet high. The accountant's husband held a knife against Shu Guiyong's neck, and although he didn't cut, it scared Shu Guiyong quite a bit. He still didn't dare to pursue it, or else both his face and dignity would be lost. Then came the reviews from various departments. Deadline for rectification. Shu Guiyong didn't take it seriously. He thought he could get away with just treating someone to a meal and slipping them some money. 3 months later, the factory was shut down. With no way out, Shu Guiyong trudged home in despair. At this moment, it truly became a conflict between the two of them. In just under a week, the originally happy Shunfang could no longer stand Shu Guiyong, staying up late and getting up late, either out playing cards, drinking with friends, or watching TV at home, not doing any housework, throwing dirty clothes and socks around, while being picky and saying that Shunfang is not good at this and that. The two of them had the most intense argument in history. Shunfang made Shu Guiyong roll for the first time. I was very happy to see that. It was just too noisy, so I hummed a little tune and returned to my room. Shunyan chose her major carefully. She wants to apply for a biology program at a university in Anhui, and I chose my alma mater following the path of my past life. Risju also became increasingly silent, silently watching me, silently following behind me. What do you really want? Kayashu, do you like me? Is it important? Not important. I take a deep breath. Risju too, if you could do it all over again, just to figure out who I like and who you like, then you're really pathetic. Time quickly moves forward. rushing past us. Shenfang and Xu Guiyong are getting a divorce. She sought comfort from me countless times, but I always deflected her with indifference. She broke down in tears, and I just silently watched her, as if she were a hysterical lunatic. Gradually, it seemed that Shenfang began to fear me. I thrive while she grows old day by day. How could she not be afraid? But don't worry. I will treat her the way she treats me. Finally, the college entrance exam arrived as scheduled. Xunyan has packed her bags and bought her ticket for that evening. She eagerly wants to leave, to go to a completely new place. I looked at her faintly and said softly, Kaya Shu must be living well in some corner of this world until the end of her life. Shu hurriedly lowered her head. She came up and hugged me. Kaya Shu, I hate you the most, but what should I do? The one I love the most is also you. That night, Restu also stopped me. He laughed nonchalantly. Aren't you trying to provoke your parents? I can help you with that. For free. I rolled my eyes. Idiot. Turning around, Restu's voice was also somewhat low. Kaya Shu, we shouldn't have come to this point, for so many years. I always thought about whether I really liked you. I don't know, but I know that I am unwilling to leave you. That day, you said that being with me was just about winning and losing. Just wanting to suppress Xunyan, and you didn't really like me. I was very sad. So I blurted out those words, Kaya Shu, I like you. I slightly raised my eyes, feeling a mix of emotions inside, not exactly sad, but a bit stifling. Restu also spoke of the day I discovered Xunyan's portrait. He said it was just youthful melancholy and told me not to make a scene. He said Xunyan was just a person who had already left, urging me to know when to stop. But how could I tolerate that years of feelings were just a scam? So I sneered, then we really are a perfect match. You use me as a substitute for Xunyan, and I use you as a tool to outdo Xunyan. Just right, neither of us owes the other. Restu also widened his eyes. What did you say? I said I never liked you. I just wanted to win against Xunyan once. At that time, Restu's eyes were filled with a tumultuous storm. That saves me from feeling indebted to you, Kaya Shu. You really don't compare to Xunyan at all, and I truly regret taking you as a substitute. The harsh words of the past still linger in my ears, but now everything has changed beyond recognition. In the end, I said nothing more and slowly walked into the shadows. Extra, Xunyan. Xunyan woke up from her dream again. Sitting up abruptly and gasping with her hand on her chest. This is the 8th year since she left, and she still cannot sleep peacefully. She is trying hard to live, make friends, see the world, do experiments, conduct research. Everything seems to be getting better, but only Shuzan knows that during some quiet nights, she always wants to climb onto the windowsill and jump down, but she can't. She is now Kaya Shu. Kaya Shu must live out her natural life. Shuzan has hated Kaya Shu since childhood. She is like an unkillable cockroach. No matter how Shenfang treats her, she is only sad for a night at most, and the next day she wakes up with bright eyes again. How can she be so carefree and free? She can do whatever she wants and go wherever she wants, but Xunyan can't. She has endless training classes and countless questions to solve. She must work hard to become the best child according to Shenfang. Kaya Shu has a pair of healthy legs. She can run, running to any corner of this world. But Shuzan was cut off from her wings and had her limbs broken. She can't go anywhere. This made Shuzan despair countless times. She hoped so much that Kaya Shu could see her and save her. Ning never thought that love could destroy a person. Maybe she is ultimately not as strong and capable as Kaya Shu. Ning thought, that's it. Her life, that's it. But Kaya Shu gave her a choice to become Kaya Shu. Shuzan admitted that her heart fluttered. This is her 8th year of becoming Kaya Shu. One day, a friend surprised her by sending a photo. Look. Doesn't it look like you? I'm stunned. Are you sure you don't have a twin sister or brother? Xunyan looked at the photo, greedily zooming in and in. She was a cool girl, dressed in a professional outfit, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, exuding an aura that warned others to keep their distance. It is Kaya Shu. This is the real Kaya Shu. Shu has inquired about Kaya Shu countless times. She knows that Kaya Shu got into her ideal university. But that's not what Shenfang wanted. What will she do to Kaya Shu? Xunyan tossed and turned, bought a train ticket to go back, and hid for half a month. until Kaya Shu told her to get lost. It's not something you should worry about. She isn't good enough for me to play with a useless person like you. She can do whatever she wants. Xunyan thinks she's really quite useless. That day, we went to the police station. She always knew that Kaya Shu was excellent. I had to work hard to keep the top position in the grade. However, Kaya Shu could easily rank in the top 10 of the grade. The sheet music that can only be memorized through repeated practice. Kaya Shu can figure it out in one go. Xunyan is extremely afraid. If there must be a useless person in this family, she hopes it is Kaya Shu, but now it seems that she has been the useless one from the beginning to the end. Seems like it's pretty good too. Xunyan suddenly really wants to see Kaya Shu. She took out her phone and dialed that familiar number. The call was quickly connected. Who is it? Xunyan held her phone tightly, so tight that her whole hand was shaking. She couldn't say a word, only her breathing became more and more urgent. After a long time, Kaya Shu spoke up. I'm busy. If you're not afraid, come back. Swish! Xunyan's tears flowed down. She let out her tone full of cheerfulness. She thought to herself, she is going home.